Here we go. All right, what's going on, everyone? Honestly, I didn't really know what the schedule was going to be this week with Christmas and the holidays and all that stuff going on. But let's be honest, I don't have anything going on today. Now, obviously, tomorrow and the day after, we have Christmas Eve and Christmas and stuff. So there's going to be a whole lot more going on. So I don't know if there's going to be anything on Thursday. We'll see. I'm gonna see if I can't get somebody to come over to do a Flashpoint game on maybe Thursday. We can do that instead, but we'll see. Before we get into it, bring this up. The month is coming to a close here in the next week. If you want a chance to win this, there should be a short in the description below. There's a short. Just leave a comment on that short. Make sure you leave a like on it and make sure you're subbed, and that'll enter you to win. I will reach out to whoever wins following the 31st, and I'll get it sent out to you. US only for this one. I think we're going to do some next month. Next month might be a little less rigid. I'm just feeling a little lacking in motivation. So, forced myself to do the stuff. So, but we'll see. Enjoy the streams and stuff when you guys are around doing like the tabletop stuff. But that only kind of works if there's people. And otherwise it is rather exhausting doing the tabletop stuff. Painting, I'm painting either way, so it doesn't really. So over the last couple days, actually, I went ahead and painted up Darth Maul. I am rather indifferent with him, to be honest. I think he came out okay, but it's just kind of a big blob of dark colors, to be fair. And went ahead and did Ahsoka, and I'm pretty good with how she came out. I think she's fine. Obviously, we've got the turn this off. No good. The great super glue war of when people put these models together, but it's all good. Especially once they're painted, is really not the most obvious thing in the world. I mean, I would say I paint these to play with them, not to sit on a shelf, but ironically, these models specifically, I'm more painting for them just to kind of be in the collection and be on the shelf rather than be played with. As of now, we'll obviously probably try to play it at some point, but it's definitely not something I'm like in a rush to play in Shatterpoint. So all we have left, I still have to buy and print the 3 missing battle droids. I have their base, but I didn't get the droids, so I need to print some of those to replace them and paint them. But as of right now, the only things left to paint for Shatterpoint are the 6 Mandalorians and Savage. I just didn't really feel like doing Savage today. I don't know why. I don't really know how I'm going to tackle these smokes, because it would be great if I could just leave the zenithal that's on them and then just paint a like a yellow and fade it into what's existingly there. So maybe we could try that like with some medium or something, some speed paint medium maybe. Just straight speed paint medium blending like a yellow downward. I don't know. We'll see. I am, for the most part, just going to paint these based off of the box art, or at least the color palette, rather. So I think we're going to mainly use these 3 colors. I'm going to do their flight suits in gray, armor bits in black, and armor bits in red. Thought about using a cultist cloak, but kind of like the idea of the flight suits being a little bit brighter in color. So I don't know how I want to tackle the belt. But yeah, you can see the super glue struggle is real on this guy. Got it in a handful of spots. Also, again, people have commented on visibility of things, so I am still using my zoomed in set here, so I apologize if things get out of frame. It's only the second time I've done this zoomed in, but it's all good. I'm trying to decide actually if I kind of want to do this backwards and do all the armor first and dry brush it the same way that I did the Spartans for Flashpoint. Just for a quick and dirty solution, and then do the jumpsuit afterwards. I think I might. I think ideally with a speed paint you want to work from the bottom up, but I don't want to dry brush the flight suit. I just want the armor bits to be dry brushed, so let's try it. Why not? All right, this is loud. I also thought about using a different red. I just like this slaughter red, so that's what I stick with. And firm shoulders, chest, shin. Of the I don't know if I'm gonna tackle the smoke plumes today. Part of why I also was using this red is because if I do the dry brushing, it desaturates the red a little. So I like starting with the darker, or it makes it look a little bit brighter than it is just from the natural process of it. But so I like the idea of starting out with a darker red when I'm doing that. I'm not going to be super neat on this piece just because I can go back afterwards and darken up the like in between the plates. Really tell where the armor ends around his collar. On one side it looks like it goes all the way up, and on the other it looks like it has a stopping point. Oh well, I'm gonna lose no sleep over it, that's for sure. If you guys could hear that, I don't know why somebody is whiling out in their damn driveway, but popping off next door. Although if I was going to defend them, we do have steep driveways in here, so it does take a little bit of juice to get out. Like trying to be kind of neat around the edges of this. There's like a little pad under the under it that I'm gonna do black, but definitely got a little wild there. I think I'm actually gonna do the hand plates red. I don't think they were red in the reference, but I'm gonna do them red just because. And the T of the face. And I guess parts of the jetpack, obviously I can't see the jetpack in the quick glance reference picture. It's probably about as clean of an outline as it could have been. Doing this side, I think, is going to be harder for me. Doing this kind of painting, not where speed paint excels by any means. How did they manage to get super glue right here of all places? A weird spot to have all that trouble. was getting at. Also, my light is giving me so many problems these days. I don't know if it is on its way out or what, but it is not cooperating. Technically, since I'm doing black armor as parts of this, I could be a little more messy with some of my red application here, but not like this character is going to have a ton of colors that go into it, so I'm not super worried here. The jetpack. Guess we're just gonna wing it on the jetpack. Also, this isn't exactly my favorite, just generic background music. It just seems to be the only non-copyright thing that I won't get copyrighted for. So... and I'm mostly just applying generic Mandalorian jetpack rules to this jetpack. But I can't see all of it, and I don't really care, to be honest. Looks like enough red to me. I don't think my paint mixer is made for these flat-bottomed things. It's kind of hard to get it the catch in the right spot. Oh, also, the camera, I did order a dummy battery. Shouldn't have any concerns with that. And the max timer on those older DSLRs are 30 minutes, so I'm still gonna have to switch it back into live view every 30 minutes. But I can splice a cable for the shutter to trick it into being half open, essentially, or the camera thinking that it's half open, which will just get rid of that whole problem altogether. So we should have a third camera or fourth camera. I don't know. We should have another camera for the battle reports, which is good. And also, I am semi-determined to be a good Wolverine in Marvel Rivals, for those of you who care. I just have love for shit characters, apparently. I refuse to play Iron Fist because he's broken. For the most part, I main Black Panther because I wouldn't even say that he's not great, but he's certainly not as brain dead as like Punisher or something like that. I got super glue in that weird spot. I can't really tell what I'm looking at. But I'm convinced that Wolverine really only works with a Hulk to team with. And that's just like a total game changer, I think. Where the hell is the back of this armor plate? It just kind of turns into his leg? Am I going insane? And they're both like that. I guess it's this kind of seam line, but there's not really a difference in elevation to speak of. Super glue is wild. I don't know. It'll all be fine. I've been wanting to stream some rivals. I just don't ever know when everybody's going to be on. I don't have the time to prep everything, essentially. I could stream like without a thumbnail. I don't really want to do that. I like trying to set stuff up a bit better. So most time it's like a last minute thing. Which we've also been playing some Delta Force. And I don't know, we were in whatever the closed alpha testing was. And we played the shit out of it during that alpha. I don't really know what it is about this, whatever it is now, the beta, the open beta, whatever its current release date is. Something about it just feels weird. I don't know. It doesn't. It's not hitting the same as it was then, and we were only playing 2 maps. Now, part of that might be that I just really dislike 2 of the 3 new maps that they put into the like beta thing that it's in currently. But yeah, so looking forward to the Black Hawk Down campaign, but I don't know, the multiplayer's not hitting. But to be fair, the Marvel Rivals is just scratching all of my multiplayer itch as far as coordination and satisfaction and stuff goes. The team play and stuff. Gotta try to insinuate split here because of all the damn super glue they got all over it. Which I think that's fine. Not gonna lie, especially around that shoulder pad, I am just kind of painting on what it's supposed to look like because it is just covered. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Also think I want Iron Heart, Mandalorian Heart to be black. Not looking forward to painting that helmet. A lot of this I can't. Hard to tell what I'm looking at. Oh, okay. This is not speed paint strong suit. Live with that. Yeah, I could just paint in all the black with an acrylic. I really don't like the game color black paint. I just don't like it. So I would rather I'd rather deal with the weirdness of the speed paint for something like this than deal with that black, because I hate that black. Hopefully, after Christmas, that black will be replaced. But we will see. Not a big fan of painting domes with speed paint either. Almost always looks weird, but it's just hard to get all the coverage you need as fast as you need to get it and not flood out what you're looking at. God, that's awful. A lot of these crimes will get disguised in the dry brush anyway. Okay. I think that's all the bits that need to be painted right this second. He is indeed red and black. Guess that's something. Jetpack is real plain. I probably could have done like the tips of the little rocket things red, just to break it up a little bit more, but I didn't. I'm going to put a little bit more black on this little plate just to cover up how bad that first coat went on. Now, which is weird because I don't mind this white at all, but yeah, this black, I hate it. Enjoy it at all. To be honest, a lot of the game colors seem a bit odd. Like dead white's good, white's fine. I mean, I guess like the ultramarine blue is fine, but like the flesh tone's a bit weird. The orange, the yellows, they're all a little bit weird to me. I don't know. I also wish they had sculpted a bit more of a defined line between like his collar piece and his chest. And not overdo parts of this, but it's also hard to hit other parts of it. That looks perfectly fine for the amount of effort that it took. Kind of covers up, makes everything look a little bit sharper and cleaner. Can't really get his little pelvic odd piece. Yeah, I think that's good. Worst part of dry brushing anything, trying to clean dry brush. Now, I don't really know what I'm going to do for the belt. I can check the quick. The belt's like almost silver in the box art, which is strange. Get the jumpsuit done. Now, he does have defined little t-shirt sleeves. I could do like a vest color if I wanted. I'm not gonna though. He's getting the Dinjarin treatment of his jumpsuit is just all gonna be the same color. That is Gravelord Gray, by the way. Now I gotta be a little careful to not mess up the dry brushing. Gravelord Gray is one of those colors from speed paints that get mixed results from. Sometimes it seems incredibly dark and sometimes it seems incredibly light. That could just be a mixing problem on my end. Now you know. Thought about painting his boots black, but I don't want his little foot armor to blend too much. Which, I mean, even just over this gray, it already is kind of just disappearing, so. having a time getting around this smoke in the butt. Legs. Yeah, that sculpted thigh on his left leg is just not clear at all. Like half-ass insinuated that there's a thigh plate there. Definitely glad did not go with Occultist Cloak, because I think he would have just turned into a blob. And the blaster pistol's black as well. I don't know if I wanted to do them Gravelord Gray like I did the Night Owls, but I think there'd be a little bit better contrast with them being black instead of gray. I'm gonna do the little under portion of the belt with Occultist Cloak. I'm going to do the top middle portion with something else. I don't think that being a different color really matters. That's just what I was thinking. I could do ashen stone. I really don't think it makes sense that this would be silver. The light gray is a bit much. Although looking, I mean, hell, it being white is not that bad, so gray is probably not that big of a deal. We'll just use this ashen stone. Got out more than I need, but whatever. Not. Yeah, I'm not really gonna bother with that little tiny gap. I always forget that that color is a lot more thin and a little more free-flowing than the others. Hit some blaster pistols and some visor action. Gosh, that is incredibly small. With stuff like that, I kind of just try to get the bristles into a fat part and then press and slide them through the thin part, so they kind of get stuck in there. And then because this is a little more watery, typically you can kind of wipe away any overflow without too much consequence. So I think that works. God, that like crotch area with all that super glue just kills me. Also didn't notice a lot of this stuff. I spent a while going through cleaning up all of these, almost sculpting out of some super glue some of like the elbows and stuff. And I didn't catch everything, obviously. And some of these spots where they snipped stuff, I didn't see till I put the zenithal on. That is what it is, you know. But honestly, how long have we been up? Right at an hour. I think for an hour, that pretty damn good. I'm all for learning techniques and things, but also painting to satisfaction. And that looks as good as I would have wanted it to. Now, for the probably shitty part, is trying to paint this fire. Now, is it yellow, orange, white to gray, or what is the transition? Look it up. Fire. This is also my chat monitor, so okay, let's smoke bloom. I mean, I guess in my case it'll probably be yellow to whitish to grayish or orangish. White, yellow, orange, grayish. Interesting. So if we could just get a convincing enough yellow, orangish. I'm gonna fit that on this little guy, but let's see, what do we got? It's kind of an orangey yellow. Oh, it might work. You know what? We're just gonna wing it. I was originally gonna try to maybe airbrush that. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Granted, to do the glow on the back of his legs, I'm gonna have to airbrush it. Whatever, we'll see. So we want. I'm gonna just focus on the right plume since it's all connected. We'll go. I haven't used these colors in forever, and in some cases, probably haven't ever. Now, I don't know. This looks orange. Is it going to come across orange or is it going to come across yellow? Reference cap says orange. I do want it to be kind of faint. Not gonna lie, that little thing is bugging me, but I don't want to cut it off because then it's just going to be even more weird, I think. Now I'm going to try to wet blend, but I honestly don't know how well that's going to work, but we're going to try. Looks really damn orange to me. And I'm going to get a little bit of medium just in case I need it. Dry, rinse, orange. Medium. I don't know why that pulled so much more yellow down with it and not the orange, but okay. Also gonna do like a white dry brush over some of this, I think. As horrible as it could be. I'm also trying to think of the simplest way to do this that I could repeat on the other 3 of them. It just doesn't. I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll just stick to the plan, even if it's a shit plan. It does feel like there needs to be some white right around the perimeter. I just feel like I need an acrylic that's like way thinned. Too much. You know, might not have been the best technique, but got the point across. And I'm gonna dry brush some of this to get a little bit more variance, but I think, okay. I think it might be a flawed idea to keep the zenithal to the base of the smoke. But I think it might make a little more sense once the rest of the base is also colored. Which we go ahead and get this tiny little bit of thing colored. Almost looks like I missed a spot. My sleeve. And then this cracked earth. Just mix up a watered down bone white and go over it, and then I do a palette bone. Typically I don't do the bases, but because do the bases on stream, but because the dude, for the most part, it only took like an hour. Well, man, I agree. Also, I will say the like sculpted nature of these bases, like with this weird like double rim kind of thing it's got going on, was kind of obnoxious to begin with, but it is kind of interesting because it's not as hard to kind of paint that extra rim as I was thinking it would be, but it does a decent enough job kind of helping frame the character a little bit more, so I made it. Also, these lightsabers with hard plastic, I kind of hate them. Like, trying to paint this guy with these damn, yeah, no good. I'm also glad they went with this version of Darth Maul with like the basically normal robot legs instead of the weird Clone Wars spider legs. But it's kind of funny now that I'm thinking about this, is he was cut at the waist, but he still got like regular pants to his knees, and then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I've got robot feet, when he could have just had the pants go down to his feet if he really wanted. So it's like him having these robot legs. It's a statement more than anything. mostly dry. Oh, but you can kind of see what I was talking about with that speed paint medium, just pulling it down, it just kind of blends it to nothing, or blends it into nothing, because speed paint medium is just clear formula, essentially. Careful, relatively speaking, to not overdo this. I painted smoke plumes on ARC troopers, but if I'm being honest, I don't really remember how I did it. Well, this is going to give me the desired effect. I mean, I think that still looks fine. Get the point across, more or less. The orange is kind of disguised in there. I could do with a little bit of orange. I don't want to do any more dry brushing because it's catching how you would expect it to catch, but it was, you know, for the shot. But I think I wish there was a little bit of orange down there, like the fire was kind of rolling in on itself. But I think I might just leave it how it is, because I could always add that once I get it all together and get a broader picture of what it looks like. So way too much of that paint. Whoops. Or brush. And that'll take a minute to dry. There's a part of the base that I'm not going to do on stream because I don't feel like dealing with it. And that's airbrushing the little French. These little, can you? So like this little line and these two little lines, that will get just a little bit of a quick airbrush over top of them just to make them stand out a little bit more. I had considered using like a texture paste over the sculpted like earth portions, but I think just doing this thin down paint with pallid bone over top of it was just fine. No point in making it harder than it needs to be. Which, I guess while we literally wait for this paint to dry, I'll mention this again because I can. There's a short linked in the description if you want a chance to win this box. Instructions down there. Just basically be subbed, leave a like, and leave a comment on that short, and you'll be entered to win. And next month, we're going to give away some Arbiter models, I think. Go ahead and put up some of the paints not needed. Side. Also, I think finally, this dude's just been sitting primed black on my desk for weeks now. But I did finally decide, I think I want to try speed paints for his gold. So I was painting my Stormcast more or less based on Beery on Instagram's kind of grimdark Stormcast. So it's black, like a rusty red all over, and then dry brushing. I think black over top of that, and then the metallics over top of that. And that's how I did all of them, and they came out just fine. But with this dude and where stuff, it's just, I feel like it's going to be a pain, and these feathers and everything, I feel like are prime speed paint opportunities. So I don't know what color I want to do because I feel like he should look different. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My original intent was to give him a blue cape instead of a red cape, but I don't know. I just feel like it would look more majestic if it was red, wouldn't it? Who knows? This guy's still just put together, and not even completely because I got to disassemble parts of him to paint him. But we are, I would say, almost done catching up. We absolutely are. Still have 10 Don't Look Back that are so dusty and covered in stuff. Don't Look Back minis. Like a slasher horror co-op kind of deal. I don't know. We are kind of almost there. I do think close enough or dry enough. I could do my pseudo dry brushing. Which I just use this little flat brush. We just get some of that Clone Wars scratchiness on the gray. Just so it's not a plain old, you know? Dry, but putting speed paint over that super quick is a little weird. You know what? I think we should do some sponging. I don't know where my tweezers went that have, they're like always closed. I don't know where they are. They might be downstairs at the workbench. I have no idea. Instead, I just use this and keep the little thing that kept it closed on it. Ooh. But hey, this will work. More or less. Always hesitant of overdoing it, ending up with like a giant smudge. Or getting it on something that's not supposed to be, you know, metallic. Or metal, rather. Yeah, I don't think that added a ton, but I'm also not wanting to go super heavy on it. Give them a tiny, tiny little bit of something. This is just that pallid bone bead paint. We just hastily slobber all over. That is the basis of the ground, and then we just cover up most of that with tufts when we get there anyway, which I'm not going to do. The airbrush dark lines on the base or the tufts on stream, because the tufts will come after he gets his clear coat. But that is our guy done. I don't know if I'm going to change the way that I did the smoke or not. I feel like it is good enough for government work, you know? Like, it gets the point across. He's on a jetpack. You get the idea, you know? I think that's good enough. I could live with a little bit more orange, like in some of the recesses on the bottom. It is what it is, you know? I also have to replicate it multiple more times, and just an off-the-cuff go at it, I think that works. I also might go back and do some, like a white line in the visor, just to give a little bit of a texture to that as well. But overall, I think looks just fine. Which I still have 2 more of these suckers to do in the same general style. I do kind of wish that they had assembled Gar Saxon with his energy shield and his pistol instead of his rifle, because painting his chest is going to be an absolute nightmare. And I think it just would have looked cooler. It would have made him stand out a little bit more if he had his energy shield, but whatever. And then we have the 3 Night Owls, which honestly I'll probably just paint them the same way that I painted my Legion Night Owls. Yeah. One last reminder, link in the description for a giveaway for this. If you want to know more, just click on that link. It's pretty self-explanatory. That is going to do it for this one. Again, Thursday. I don't know what the plan is. We'll probably do something on Thursday. I just don't know which game or what the plan is exactly. But this is the last piece of anything I'm doing before Christmas, the holidays, all that stuff. So hopefully all that goes well for you guys. Be safe more than anything. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. So be safe. Have a good holiday. I will see you guys on Thursday. To be fair, I might stream Marvel Rivals, so all of what I just said may be false. It just depends. This is the last scheduled thing that I'm doing. That is it. I hope you guys have a good one. I will see you guys when I see you. All right, bye guys.
The power of the dark side.